What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans episode. We are going to kick off here with a live Clan War League attack. Before we get into the rest of the episode, Red Elite, we are going to be getting promoted to Champion 1, which is pretty exciting. Leave some hype for us down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because next season you will get to see Champion 1 gameplay. This is the base we are going to attack, so let's go ahead and explain everything on how we're going to try and get the 3 stars. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this. So when I first looked at this base, what I noticed were the 2 single target infernos and kind of the weird setup whereby we could get straight through the base without a jump spell. Now we can get to the town hall relatively easily. We've got to assume that it is ransacked over there with traps, but I've got an idea to create a pretty good funnel, ensure we get in there, and then we should be pretty good here for the rest of the attack. Basically guys, we are going to send in, well, the first thing I'm going to do is send 1 balloon towards this Dark Elixir storage to test for a black air bomb. Then we can chain the dragon, or the Electro Dragon, straight through from the mine to the storage and look at the chain value we can get. Now I'm actually taking an earthquake spell as a little bit of a backup plan here, but what I thought is if the Electro Drag chains some of these buildings and they're low on health, I'll use the earthquake spell, not activate the town hall, but it might take out some of them buildings and just help my troops as they come through. That basically will create the funnel very nicely on that side of the base. Over to the other side, I'm going to use 1 pecker on the gold mine here and send a slammer in towards the archer tower. Now hopefully what that does is clears out this little area of splash damages, and I'm going to have an ice golem and a pecker in there. Then I'm going to have all of my witches with the queen, the warden and the king push through the town hall and in towards the center of the base. Now they are going to take a bit of damage there. I know that that is going to be the case. However, I am going to just stick with it. I think they've got more than enough health, and I will have to use the Grand Warden's ability. From that point, I'm going to kind of monitor where they go, but I'm either going to send the bats in from the north and freeze this wizard tower. It's a little bit tricky in order to get an ice golem or anything onto it to distract, so I've got freeze spells for that. Or I will come in from this other side here and use an ice golem onto the mortar to distract the wizard tower on that side and kind of sweep up and around. It kind of depends on where the witches go, if I'm honest, but I'm basically going to try and sweep through in front of the witches, and I do have 2 wizards as well in order to clean up behind the bats. Couple of archers to try and snipe off buildings, and that is essentially my plan. So guys, let's get into it. Wish me luck, leave a like, and boom, we've pressed the attack button. We are in. So let's start with that balloon and the E-Drag, which I think is a nice touch there. I think the E-Drag should get pretty good chain value here. And I'm just going to watch a little bit about what it does here. Let's send the P.E.K.K.A in as well. The E-Drag has moved away from where I wanted it to, and it is going to activate the Eagle Artillery, which is not great. We've got the War Wrecker on, so let's swap that. And the E-Drag didn't get near enough value as what I thought it was going to. If I'm honest, guys, I thought it was going to get a lot more than that. Let's go ahead and use the Queen here alongside the healers, then the witches with 2 bowlers. Let's get the giant in as well just to help, the Grand Warden, and that's all looking pretty good at this point. The king needs to be in there as well. Queen's ability, not sure what happened there, guys. Grand Warden's ability as well. Poison onto the baby dragon there, and let's just see what happens here. It's not looking too bad. Let's get that earthquake in just to try and help out a little bit here. And I'm going to just basically keep an eye on what's happening. Where are the witches going? I'm going to freeze this wizard tower just because the witches are taking a bit of fire there. And let's go ahead, start the bats over at the top of the base. Actually, where are my troops going? Most of them are coming to the bottom, so I'm actually going to start the bats at the bottom here to try and protect the witches. So let's put them in. Let's put the ice golem in now to try and distract that wizard tower. Definitely a little bit nerve-wracking here. Come on, Ice Golem, get to that wizard tower, which it does. That should be well distracted now for the bats to come round and protect the witches. I think my queen's gone down. Yes, it has. Queen has gone down. Bats are doing well here, guys. Bats are doing well. Come on, bats. Get through that. They're not doing too bad. Keeping an eye on that top wizard tower. Now let's freeze it. Might have been a touch early there with that freeze, but I am going to just keep an eye on things, and let's freeze it again. I probably missed that freeze, if I'm honest, but we're not doing too bad, guys. We are not doing too bad. Let's try and get a couple of archers to help here. I think we're looking good for the 3 stars here. As the bats come over, let's get the wizards in. We are not looking too bad. We've got plenty of witches. We've got 50 seconds. We have... Come on, bats, take that archer tower down. I think we're going to get a 3-star, guys, to wrap up the CWL. And there we go. To wrap things up for Red Elite, I have hit consistent 2 stars this week. I have got 80%, 85, 90%, but I haven't quite hit that 3. And finally, on day 7, we have got it done. And what a better way to finish up for Red Elite, the 3 stars. And I couldn't be happier. So that went pretty well and puts us in an even better position. I think even if we weren't to attack from this point, we would still be in first place and getting promoted. So that is pretty cool. Now I wanted to show you the other 3-star that we received this war before we move on to a couple of multiplayer attacks and trying to get as many season challenge points as possible. We are almost at 4,000 points, guys, already, which is pretty cool this early on in the season. Now the reason I wanted to show you this attack, it's probably one of the craziest attacks that I have seen this week, and you guys know that we brought a video with a 500 IQ warden move. I will link that at the end of this one if you missed it. But have you ever seen the E-Drags and when they clutch with that final chain lightning, when they get taken out and the lightning spell comes from above? Now I think it is really cool, and I've seen it before where they've taken out the town hall on that streak to just about get the 2 stars, but this one really takes it to that next level. So we're coming in with the E-Drags here, and the good thing about the Electro Dragons, it's kind of similar to the P.E.K.K.A. Smash style attacks in that it is a safe 2-star, does have the potential of a 3, but not necessarily as much as the P.E.K.K.A. Bobat and the P.E.K.K.A. Smash style attacks. They tend to be a little bit more confident in getting the 3, but the E-Drags can still get it done, especially if you are against bases highly compact as with this one. So moving to this part in the raid, there's certainly plenty of E-Dragons left. Moving up to that top area, there is 1 air defense, plenty of buildings to chain through. At this point, I really didn't think this was an issue. I thought all of them Electro Dragons, this base is crushed. There is no way that Splash and just an air defense are going to do anything. But as the E-Drags come up, one of them there gets taken out, and it allows that air defense to just continue doing a couple of bits of damage onto the E-Drags. The next one goes down. Not to worry though, still 3 E-Drags left up at this point. Again, I'm certainly thinking that we're absolutely golden. Now the Archer Tower happens to take out another one, locks onto the E-Drag with low health, but it does then get taken out. Again, at this point, still 2 E-Drags, nothing that can really do damage. We are golden, but it's not, guys. It gets close, look, as this is the final E-Drag on the map. This is it. It's now or never. It chains through them buildings at the top, which is crazy, gets to the wizard tower, gets taken out, and takes the wizard tower for the 3-star on the chain lightning spell of the E-Drag getting taken out. Let me know in the comments if you have seen anything so crazy like that, and it's why we had to title the video with what we did, because them kind of moments in Clash do not come around often. So let's check out these season challenges. I don't like this one, if I'm honest. 30 archers getting 40 stars. That's pretty much 20 attacks where we have to use 30 archers. I'm doing it, guys, because I want to see the maximum amount of points you can get. As you know, we gemmed right the way up, and we are almost at 4,000 already with over 21 days left, or 21 days at the time of recording. I'm not sure when I'm going to put this video out. So we need to get this daily challenge, which is to get a star from a multiplayer battle. Again, I always laugh at them things. It's just, I find it funny. They are that easy that it's funny. We're going to use the Queen Charge Miner because I had this cooked up in the background, but then I do tend to just merge in like 30 archers into this army, so that's what we will then do moving forward. So let's find a base that we can attack. Okay guys, so we have our first base to attack here with the miners. It is a little bit lower than what I normally go for. I like to try and get 500,000 golden elixir, but I think we're just going to attack this one. So I think, why don't we try and set up the funnel? There's not an obvious place here, in fact. We might be able to get the loons onto that archer tower, only just though, so let's try it. I'll use the baby dragon in order to tank first to try and get that down. Come on. Oh, we just didn't get it down, which is unfortunate. I quite like to get that inside building taken out because it just means the queen has no chance of being drawn over to that area, but didn't quite get it down. You can see the spectator slot did fly open there as well. Oh, that was not good for my loons. But what that basically means is either this person is watching or it's one of my clanmates, which wouldn't be as exciting, but I always like when the opponent is watching. We might have to press the queen's ability. I put that rage in too late. I was too busy trying to use the barbarian king at the top. We have lost a couple of healers as well, which is not great. I was trying to create that funnel because the queen hadn't quite gone to plan and we'd lost them healers. I was trying to create the funnel to get the miners in a little bit quicker. I kind of hope the queen hurries up here and gets into the base. So let's get the miners in at this point to try and get them over to that town hall area. Let's get the rage on the queen. Don't know if she's going to survive this. She might just, guys. She might just. Waiting for the Grand Warden's ability. Let's press it now. And she did survive that amazingly. Now we'll get the heal spell in. Grand Warden's ability was used to get through the Eagle artillery fire, but they are taking a lot of damage there as they got caught up on the king. If any skeletons pop, I will be sure to use that poison spell. I thought there might have been some skeletons over by the town hall. Looks like the queen has gone down. There are some skeletons there, which we can pop that poison on to try and protect these healers a little bit. Might just help out. I'm not sure where we can put this minion though, where we might be able to get some loot. Let's just try there and see what happens. I'm kind of going to just drop this heal here, but I don't think the miners are going to get much further. They've just got caught in the middle of the base here. We've got the dark elixir. Not that it matters, guys. I've got way too much dark elixir, and we haven't got all of the loot, but we've got the victory. And again, I really just wanted to use these troops in order to then get the ones with 30 archers. That's the challenge we're going for here, and I really just integrate them into the attack. So the miners are going to finish up with an extra couple of thousand elixir there, but nothing too special. And with the loot bonus, again, that's why I normally go for a little bit more. Not too devastating though. Let's come back when we have another base. So this base has more than the 500,000 that I normally go for. It's not as overwhelming in that we should be able to use them 30 archers to somewhat help us and essentially still take the base down. Now, I don't think there's that many free snipes. However, what I'm thinking is we come in from over to the western side here where there's an air defense down where we can hopefully press our wrecker in. And yeah, let's just start the attack, shall we? Let's just do that. I think if we get them 2 loons in, we'll be able to take that air defense down, check for any traps, which as you can see are getting taken out, and then the baby dragon will help to create that funnel. Then let's put the queen in alongside the healers. She's going to walk down that way. We can probably use the baby dragon at the other side of the base to help here with the wrecker alongside the queen. And the queen started hitting the wall where the wrecker went and helped out, which is always nice. Then let's use the king on this side of the base alongside the wizards, and we need to either press the queen's ability here or use a rage. We've actually got enough time to use the rage, because what I wanted to do was get all them archers in behind the king to kind of help out. The king's tanking. It's a shame not to use the archers to kind of help out a little bit. The P.E.K.K.A. in the middle of the base there has done alright. Now let's get the miners in to come straight into the base itself. Again, I do try and somewhat practice my war strategies within farming, but at the end of the day, I'm not like super, super serious in terms of the farming. I do just, somewhat do it on the fly and do a bit of a YOLO attack. So let's go ahead and use the Grand Warden's ability there to try and help us through that Eagle Artillery fire. Should have probably used that poison spell earlier. It wasn't actually needed by the time I dropped it, so beautiful stuff. And the minion can be used nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Let's try and snipe off that air defense or the elixir collector out of the way of the air defense. I still think we're going to get this, guys. The queen is just clinging on there. If she gets through that cannon, which she does, she should hopefully be healed right the way back up to full health now, because the miners are ahead of her. And let's just see. I don't actually think we need to use this final heal. And if you don't have to use all of your spells, then you might as well not use them all. It depends though. There's nothing worse than, because I often don't use my poison spell. Let me know if this happens to you. And then I'll go back to base and I'll have 2 poison spells and I have to just drop one of them anyway. It's really frustrating, and I wish there was a way for the game to like figure that out as a quality of life change in order to then not cook the poison spell from the next one. But it's purely the order that you cook them. Just depends. So we get all of the loot for that one, much better than the raid beforehand, and it's looking nice. Let's check our progress as I still think we've got enough from the... Yeah, we get 2 million there, and we will be able to get, not quite 2 million. So really we should collect it, which would then mean that we can get all of the loot. We'd be losing out on about 200,000 there, I think. And there's nothing else to do other than upgrade a couple of walls. So that is what we're going to do. Judo Sloth upgrading walls, you might ask? Yes. Yes, we are. So there we go. A couple of walls have been upgraded. And let's give you a bit of a progress update on the season challenges. So we have 11 stars. Oh, because we only got 1 star on the one before. That's annoying. It's going to mean we have another raid to do. But we are almost at 4,000 points, and we've certainly got a lot more challenges to do. There's only walls for us to upgrade. I think we still have the skeleton spell. We can get a couple of more levels, but then obviously you guys seeing all of the upgrades which are coming in the update, which we are going to be ready for. And guys, I cannot wait, because after this week, or after today, I will have enough points for the champion statue. I went ahead and bought all of the hammers, which I'd recommend you do, and because we're getting promoted to champion 1, finally, I will be able to get that statue as a testament of strength right there in the base. I cannot wait. If you guys want to see that 500 IQ gameplay by the Grand Warden, I will link it on your screen right there now. But that wraps it up for this one. Until next time, peace out.